Hello and welcome back to Web 2.0 Expo 2010 in San Francisco. We have another special guest for you, Mark Cesario, a product specialist at IBM, part of the Rational division, right?
That's correct.
I was looking over at your booth, and you have some very interesting things around collaborative application management and lifecycle.
Correct. We have our Jazz platform, and within the Jazz platform, we built a Rational Team Concert, which really deals with your versioning, your working process. But with that, we encompass both the testing side with Rational Quality Manager, and then we have the actual requirements with our Requirement Composer, all based on this Jazz platform to give us this collaborative application lifecycle management capability.
Right, and so trying to really boil it down to exactly what it does. I've used the ClearCase product for many years, and ClearQuest, and the whole Rational suite. It's always been an industrial strength product. I was really excited to see you're bringing Web 2.0 to this particular topic, right? So what are the Web 2.0 pieces? What makes it collaborative, and how does that work?
Here's what's unique about the Jazz platform that we built this on is that it's based on the RESTful architecture. So you're using HTTP URL calls to go pick out an element, let's say in the database, or let's say you're going to pick out that work in process, or you want to pick out that requirement.
Okay.
You're not making calls anymore, or doing SOAP interface. You're doing these HTTP URL calls.
So this is all Open API stuff, right? Open
API, very fast. So whether you're sitting in Bangalore, you're sitting in San Mateo, you're getting a very good response based on your internet.
So never mind you get the performance benefits, but so that's very interesting. So it's an open architecture, and people can write their own scripts and their own add-ons and all that?
Correct. We have this open commercial product.
Right.
If you go to jazz.net, you can actually sit there, and there's a link to download RTC, that's Rational Team Concert, Express C, and you can get 10 licenses, permanent licenses, and literally start using the product as it is today.
Right.
And you have work in process built in, defects, as in ClearQuest, requirements, light requirements. You actually have versioning built in, and you can and then you have your whole development, your agile, your stories, your epics, as well as iterative development, your traditional development.
Right. So So is the collaborative piece primarily around the API, or is there like a social and community-based component?
It has instant messaging built into it, so there is this whole collaborative. So you're sitting there and you have a build, and let's say you're doing a build and you've got maybe an issue in there, or you're looking at it, you can right-click, and if your team is sitting in China or they're available, you can then instant message them, or hey, look at this, send them. They can then do the HTTP calls, the RESTful architecture, look at that, and actually start working together in this collaborative environment. Yeah,
because I remember the days used to be, to see what was going on, you had to go and look at all the check-ins, right? And figure out, all right, whose active directory ID is that? And now you don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to do that. So you can do your delivery, you can actually see it. Someone can actually automatically, as soon as something happened, they would see that pop up into their particular either Eclipse shell, or maybe they're sitting in the, what's nice about this whole Jazz platform.
So it's integrated right into Eclipse.
Right into Eclipse, also integrated into Visual Studio.
Okay.
And we also have a web front end.
All right. Very cool.
So, and developers would, of course, want to use the ID of Eclipse or maybe the Visual Studio ID, but an example of the Quality Manager, our test management solution that's built on Jazz, it's totally Web 2.0 based.
Right. Now, I always was a big ClearCase fan, but of course, things like Git and CBS and SVN are very popular. How much of the IBM tool set do you have to adopt in order to be able to take advantage of Team Concert?
Well, with Team Concert, it has a industrial strength configuration management built right in. But we also have what they call adapters, connectors to ClearCase.
Okay, got it.
To ClearQuest. So you can actually sit there as an organization, and maybe a small team is doing Agile, they got the pure RTC using the built-in versioning, and then you got a separate team over here, been there for 10 years or 8 years. Go ahead, use a connector, use ClearCase, all working together with this common Jazz platform.
Okay. All right,
so you have that interoperability.
All right. So so you said we can go get started on this at jazz.net and download and try the whole thing?
Jazz.net, you can get a free login.
Okay.
Not a problem. And then right on the right side, you'll see this RTC download for this Express C. And what's really nice, we used to have only 3 users. We realized you have to give out more.
Right, yeah,
so it's 10, and it's permanent, which is real nice. So that means you got the full-blown product. And since there is Jazz.net as open commercial, you can get all the support you need. You can right-click, submit a defect. You can right-click, submit an enhancement. You can actually see the actual milestones of what they're working on.
Right. So does it have activity streams basically, like they have in social environments?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then you kind of feel the pulse of the project and see what's going on.
That's right.
And now, whose social technology are you using, or is this part of the Lotus connections, or how's that working?
We leverage our Lotus, but pretty much it's part of that platform that we built, the IM technology collaborative, and that is one of the things we're looking at. How can we leverage our other brands, and make that part of
Yeah, because everybody wants everything all fit together, right? I mean, that's the thing. Like, we love it, but we don't want to sit there and try to assemble it. You know, we don't want assembly required.
How can we reuse?
Right, exactly.
We are working hard at that.
So, is there anything you can tell us about what's coming up next with Team Concert, or?
You know, at this point, we're taking this collaborative application lifecycle management, where we're actually taking our products and letting them seamlessly work together. So, for example, you could be sitting there as a developer, and you could actually see what's implemented by means what requirement is driving it.
Right.
And right in there, you can see your requirement composer requirements that are driving it.
Very
or you
cool.
can actually have validated by, and you can see what test cases, test plans are actually going to validate that. So we have this implemented by, validated by, and these three all work together. So if I'm sitting in requirement composer, I can actually see what's being actually worked on, what's worked in process in RTC.
So you can kind of see the entire workflow, the whole work stream, I guess, is the term we use now.
Yes, exactly. For the whole life, and it's all collaborative, working together. Everybody can communicate, whether, and you know.
Well, it's great for distributed development, especially when stuff's being outsourced overseas, things like that. And then you have the requirements team back on the, usually on site. To get them all connected together. Social tools are great for that, right?
So we built our Rational Quality Manager from the ground up, Jazz based, using our Jazz tool, the RTC tool, and they were distributed across the globe.
Fantastic.
To teams.
All right, Mark. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking a few minutes and explaining
sure.
to us what's going on with IBM and collaborative application management lifecycle. Is that right? I've got that
Close.
right?
Collaborative application lifecycle management. It's called CALM.
Okay.
Isn't that nice? CALM. It's got that.
Very good. Excellent. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.